Hey everybody, welcome to the Rig on Wheels show. As you see, I got a different co-host today, but we are so excited. But I am your host, Camille E. Gaines. I am CEO and founder of Rig on Wheels, and we got not Pearson. We let Pearson go ahead and save the world. That's what he's doing, saving the world. Or at least that's my version of it. But we got Josue, that's our favorite internal recruiter over there at MVT. So what's going on, Josue?
Nothing much. Excited to be here. Ready to go.
Yeah, yeah, you over there in the Patin, Texas, right?
Yeah. Pretend Texas.
The Patin, Texas. He over there in El Paso. But yeah, so we got a really good show in for you today. We're gonna talk about our regular hot jobs, our recruitment tips, our driver tips, all that good stuff. But we're gonna talk about freight. We're gonna talk about diesel, but it's some stuff with like cow freight, filing bankruptcy that we're gonna talk about today that hits close to home because I just remember them always being at conferences, sponsoring and everything. The owner is very much an upstanding guy, and I love how he's handling everything. Most definitely. So I definitely want to talk about Cal Freight a lot and give the whole tariff thing with the Donald arrest for now. So that we're going to make history together. We're your one and only truck driver recruitment show. So we're going to definitely give all the rest, and we're gonna jump into it. But before we jump into it, we want you to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're on YouTube. Go ahead and click on that bell for us. But let's jump into it now. Let me go ahead and let you folk know that we love to talk about gas prices because we do know that everybody within trucking and transportation doesn't just depend on diesel. But when all of this came out, the gas hadn't been publicized yet. So just to let you know, we don't have the gas prices on average for this week yet. But diesel dropped 8.2 cents. That is good because it does give the relief for transportation logistics operators. But it also makes me a little nervous. Y'all know I get nervous when diesel drops, but it is this year's largest drop at one time. But we are still higher than we were this same time last year. This time last year, it was 52.9 cents less. So I always like to compare so we can still know that we are, no, I said it wrong. We are 52.9 cents less than we were last year. So I do still want everybody to know that we're less than we were last year. So I did say that wrong. Before we talk about cow freight, I do want to actually talk about freight today and talk about like jump into it and explore the market and break that down for us a little bit. Some stuff that we basically expected as we're coming out of Thanksgiving and we're heading into Christmas. So this is kind of that funny time, especially if you're new to the industry and you're not sure as to what to expect. This is normal when it comes to this. Dry van went up about 6 cents. Basically, it just shows the demand for the consumer products. You know, holidays are coming and approaching. Josue is buying all the gifts for his kids. I'm buying all my gifts for my nietos. So there's that. Then you got flatbed that's up 1 cent. But then you got the that's down 22 cents. That's probably the biggest hit right there. And I don't want to say that seems to be kind of like a norm, I would say, but it is a steep drop, just to let you know. But if you are an owner operator that is dealing with reefer, make sure that you're optimizing your routes. Okay, you're managing them very well. This is the time to make sure of that because you're dealing with some rate that's dropping. The same thing, if you're a shipper, this is the time that all of the temperature sensitive goods, making sure that you're taking advantage of those low rates. So it's good for the shippers, bad for the carriers. Kind of potatoes, potatoes. No pun intended. Um, but everything is, in my opinion, still looking good for 2025. I expect a great 2025. I'm manifesting it. I'm clicking my heels. I'm very upset and taking a lot of Cymbosa if it's not. So I just want everybody to know it better happen. But we do need to definitely plan ahead, be strategic, watch your cents because if you watch your cents, the dollars will just make happen. I don't know the saying. Pearson normally says the saying, but just how does it go? If you mind your cents, Kayla, did you know the saying? She says she doesn't know the saying. If you mind your cents, the dollars will happen. Or anyway, you don't know she's in my ear. She doesn't know the saying that Pearson normally says. But definitely make sure that you're being very strategic. Reefer is the one that's taking a hit right now. So, what predictions? I want to know if anybody on LinkedIn, especially LinkedIn, because I know we have about 100 people that said that you all will be watching. So whether or not you're watching now or you're going to watch the replay, we're still going to be engaging. I want to know, like, what are your predictions as far as this rebound with the reefers? Like, what are your thoughts of what's going to happen? Because that's a big drop, 22 cents. Like, that's a lot. That hurt me when I saw that. I was like, damn. So, just like, what do you think that? How's that gonna rebound? If you were in the truck, you the owner operator. How do you jump back with that? Because that's heavy right there. But if we don't have anybody answering that, what I do want to do is go ahead and talk about cow freight. Um, so Cal Bendir, I think that's how you pronounce Mr. Singh's first name. What I do want to say is the reason why I think this one hits me so hard, or it's more personal for me, maybe not hit hard, that's probably too extra. I'm putting too much on there. But when I saw that he was filing bankruptcy, and doesn't mean he's going out of business. Not his core freight, not his core business anyway. It's not going out of business. It's because I've seen them over the years. You know, they sponsor things. They're always on top of it, and it's just when you see them, I feel like it's always something to aspire to. When you see them out and about, I just want to be honest with that. When you see somebody that actually grassroots their company and grows it to something so great, and you see that, and you know the challenges that he had to face to get things to a certain point, it just gives you so much hope. I do want to point that out. Uh, so when I saw that, it hit me. It hit me hard to see that. Now Pearson and I always talk about, this company won't be the last company that's either going out of business or filing bankruptcy, whether it be Chapter 11, 13 for the restructuring or what have you. But that one kind of hit really hard. But one thing he did say is there, what we would consider in our industry a mid-sized trucking company, because they have about 500-600 trucks or drivers thereabout. So that is about five. That's what you would be considering a mid-sized company. So they are filing to restructure 325 million in debt. And what I did was try to read up as much as I could about Cal Freight to see the common denominators, because each outlet kind of told their own story. You know how it is with the fake news. I thought that was funny. But anyway, and they had different numbers, but they do owe to, major debtors that we know. But he is saying no layoffs during this process. The drivers and the employees will still stay. But what happened was they did the reasons behind the financial challenges is what he's saying is over expansion during the pandemic for their parts and their tire business, because they had Cal's parts, Cal's tires, and additional things like that. And that kind of ate them. Now, the Cal Freight, the trucking company, he's saying has always made money, has always been successful. Those drivers don't have to worry about layoffs, don't have to worry about payroll or anything like that. It's the other ones. So that's the reason why they filed bankruptcy through the Texas courts. I'm just kind of reading here of what I typed down. So they're basically going back to the basics, quote unquote, which is their core strengths, which is their regular trucking, to do that. So, what do you think about that story?
I mean, it's heartbreaking,
Yeah.
People always strive to do best and, grow and grow and just, from the other outlets that they had, the tire company and, all that. And I mean, the company itself takes a hit, their employees take a hit. The good thing is that what you said, they're still relying on at least like the trucking, the freight one. So, I mean,
Mhm.
it's kind of what brought them back to, what brought them to the dance in the first place. So, at least they have that to stand on and kind of regroup from there and try to see if they could rebuild again.
Yeah, but I agree with that. What I like, even though this is a tale of bankruptcy and financial woes and all of that type of stuff, what I will say about Mr. Singh is, and Calvinder, I think is how you pronounce his first name, but I don't want to mess up um, that, so I'm just gonna say Mr. Singh. Is he is making? It seems like he's making sure and doing whatever he can in California to make, because that's where that his trucking company is out of, and making sure that he's not laying off his drivers, and he's doing what's right for his drivers. So that speaks to me, and that also makes me feel good that what I felt about him when I first saw him, when I met him, and everything, that I had a great judge of character. Um, because that's great. You have so many of these trucking companies that are just like throwing the drivers away. Don't get me wrong, I know business is business, and sometimes you can't help it, but I also feel that the way in which they're doing the drivers are wrong. So many of them are being stranded out there on the road. Just a lot ends up happening, where other companies are literally picking them up. And I don't mean calling them, I mean like literally driving by and having to pick the drivers up because they're stranded. But Mr. Singh is not doing that, right? He's making a public statement saying, my employees, including my drivers, are good, they're safe. We're taking care of our core daily operations. It was the expansion in those outside ventures that weren't doing well. And apparently, it looks like, based on all the articles that I was reading, that the trucking company was probably lending money to the other businesses to try to help them out. So you can only do that for so long. But yeah, it's a story of not just financial challenges, but it's a story of resilience, and that speaks. I don't like to talk too much about religion here, but that definitely speaks to the Sikh community. He's a Sikh, in the Punjab community. So I love that. I love this story, and as much as he's going through financial challenges, he's also a man of resilience because he's taking care of his drivers. So I really appreciate that, greatly. So, with saying that, we are definitely going to end this news segment. Sometimes we end on a sour note, especially with these bankruptcies, but I feel like this actually is a great note because it is a tale of resilience from Cal Freight. A lot of the news outlets to me has been showing that it's a Debbie Downer, but not to me. It's not. It's a tale of resilience, and that's just what I know of the community that he comes from. So, way to go, Mr. Singh. And we're going to go to commercial. And when we come back, we're going to talk about hot jobs. And because we have Josue, Jesus Christ, because we have Josue here, we got a bonus job for everybody.
My name is Josue Fierro, and I am a recruiter, and I've been with Mesilla Valley going on 3 years now. Before I joined the Mesilla Valley Transportation family, I was at JCU as a loan officer. I feel that I acquired some skills there, providing customer service, learning, to listen to the customer, and learning patience. I think that helped me out right now where I'm at with Mesilla Valley Transportation, because I could actually apply those skills to what I do now, which is, helping drivers, getting them behind the wheel and getting them a job. So basically what I do here in recruiting, it's something good. We for sure give jobs to drivers, so it feels good, that we help people. Communication is great there in our department, from leadership to employees. We have a good working environment there, and it feels homey. Like, it feels like a home environment. It feels a family-oriented environment. So, yeah. Yes, I acquired skills here at Mesilla Valley Transportation. One of them would be knowledge of the transportation industry. I was not aware of the transportation. I was just more into financing, and I think it's good to know that transportation takes a big role in our country, and we do something good here. What made me apply Mesilla Valley Transportation was basically word of mouth, the reputation that this company has. You see them everywhere on billboards, the trucks on the street, you hear them in the news ads. So you see Mesilla Valley Transportation everywhere, and you just hear from people here, local people saying that Mesilla Valley is great, it's a great company to work for, and I was excited to join. My life changed when I joined Mesilla Valley Transportation in a big way. And one of them was them, of course, providing stability, giving me a peaceful state of mind, knowing that I could provide for my family, knowing that I could do what I do every single day without worries of, job security, in other words. And they actually helped me out a lot as well as far as my daughter. She's 17. She wanted to get a first job in the summer. Marketing was able to go ahead and help me out, bring her in here as an internship over the summer, which she loved. She gained a lot of experience for her being her first job. Now she loves it. Now she wants to go to school for it and get a degree, so she's happy, and I'm happy. I would definitely recommend people to work here. It's ever since I walked here the first day, it felt like a family-oriented work environment. Everyone's smiling, everyone's friendly, everyone talks to you like if they know you for years. So for sure, if I had to go ahead and tell someone, I would definitely recommend someone to work here at Mesilla Valley. My name's Josue Fierro. I'm a driver recruiter, and MVT changed my life.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Oh, Josue.
I'm getting used to it. I'm getting
Yeah,
used to it now, seeing it. Before I used to get a little bit, weirded out about it, but now I'm used to the commercial now.
you used to you like I'm used to being famous and all that.
Not even, no, not even. But that's cool.
Do you give your autograph to your wife? Did she ask for your autograph?
Yeah, she did. I was like, hold off on the autographs. It's home time right now.
That's so funny. Don't get beat up, okay? Not get beat up at home. But too cute, too cute. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the hot jobs. I guess we could start with 110. That'll be perfect.
Perfect. So, Division 110, that is a team position only. We are hiring out of specific areas, which will be El Paso, Albuquerque, Dallas, Fort Worth. We have Nashville and Memphis in Tennessee. These are 110. The positions, basically, all those bubbles you'll see, that's what you're going to be hitting. To Washington up there, you do the Colorado, the Albuquerques, the El Pasos, the South California, DFW area, and even Tennessee. This is a good route. It is 6 to 7 days out. So you'll be out for about a week, under a week out. And then team drivers right now, they're averaging anywhere from 65 to 8,000 miles a week. And they're getting 32 cents for all miles, So you could definitely get some good cash out of this position for sure.
Yeah, we love teams. That teams with MVT work very well. The drivers definitely like it. So that's awesome. All right. And then this one is Division 329. I think this is Pearson's favorite right here.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of our favorites too, just because it's so intriguing. It's like for us as a recruiter, it's easy to sell because these you'll see right there where it says hiring areas from Houston, DFW, San Antonio, Laredo. If you live in one of those places, you do qualify for this lane. Basically, everything that is in dark blue, that's what you'll be hanging out in. You'll be driving, the San Antonios, the Mount Vernons, the Laredos, the Houston. So most of the driving is done in Texas here. Of course, you do have Norman and Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you even have Baton Rouge, Louisiana here or there. But this route is good because it is 5 to 7 days out. So you'll be about a week out, under a week, with a 34-hour reset. I mean, you could average, anywhere as low as 1250 and as good as 1824, depending on experience. It's a dry van position, but just keep in mind that the hiring radius is 75 miles from Houston, DFW, San Antonio, and Laredo.
Love it. At 75 miles, that's a good radius right there, especially in Houston. That's a great radius. Okay, let's jump to the next one. Okay, so this is my favorite division right here, this 430. So the high end radius is 75 miles of Jacksonville, Florida, and you're just doing a loop. So we call this the Gulf. That's why I like it so much. So you're just running I-10. So go ahead and tell them about this.
For sure. So again, 75-mile radius, just like you mentioned, out of the Jacksonville, Florida area. This one is also good to sell. It's a South Texas regional route. Basically, from Jacksonville, you hit up Houston, Houston to Laredo, Laredo back to Jacksonville. This right here, most of the driving, you're going to be hanging out in I-10. Um, so this is a 5 to 7 day route as well. So you'll be out about a week, under a week out with your 2 days at home, and you average anywhere from 1125 to 1250 on a weekly basis. Just basically going to South Texas and back to Jacksonville for your home time.
Yeah, this is really good. So Pearson always points out how, a lot of times when you live in Florida, uh, companies want you to be going into Atlanta and all of that, having to deal with all that Atlanta traffic. Kill me now. Now, what I like to always point out, when you're in Jacksonville, the companies that I always would have to recruit for is a paper route. If y'all know who I'm talking about, and you drive from it's Miami all the way up to Maine, and you're driving that 95 corridor. You don't have to worry about that. Typically, the pay is around about the same or a little bit more for to do Miami to Maine and back, doing that ship channel all the way up and down 95 corridor. You don't have to worry about that. With this, all you're doing is I-10. So whether you are in Jacksonville and folk always try to send you into Atlanta and you don't like dealing with the Atlanta traffic, or if you are the ones that I'm talking about and folk always try to recruit you to do that famous run that I'm talking about with the paper mill, and they're trying to have you go up that 95 corridor from Miami all the way up to Maine. You don't have to worry about that either. That's the reason why this one is my favorite. Is basically because of that. This is super fantastic. I just don't know where this was when I used to be on the phone doing recruiting because this is awesome. This right here is awesome. If I could have had this to definitely talk to my drivers about, this would have been a slam dunk. Yeah, this is amazing. So, Kayla, if we can go to the next one. Now, this one I really love when Pearson let us know that they were revamping this and opening up the high end area and the run. I I was floored because it opened up a lot more opportunities, especially for the Memphis folk. I was gonna make a joke about what's that rapper girl name? Gorilla?
Yeah, Glorilla.
Oh, Glorilla. Her name is Glorilla or Gorilla?
I think it's Glow, but yeah.
Oh, Glorilla. I call a girl Gorilla. Oh my goodness. I cannot. It's my age. I don't know. Okay. I just heard this one song about or something like that. It go So anyway, maybe I should let you take it from here.
Yes, Division 440, just like how Camille said, it's basically we added hiring areas. So we added Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville. We have Houston, DFW, and San Antonio. Same hiring radius at 75 miles. Where you'll see the bubbles, that's where you're going to be going to. So, for example, you'll hit up the Tennessees, the Nashville, and Memphis. You'll hit up the Carolinas. You hit up Florida, Georgia, Louisville. I know that we added Richmond, Virginia, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's not that common that you go out there, but we do have some customers out there as well. So depending if we have freight, you might hit up those areas as well. but this is a 5 to 7 day route as well. So about a week out, under a week out, 2 days at home. So yeah, I mean it's a good way to for you to sell it. You know, available from different areas, not just South Texas. You know, also Memphis and Nashville. So it's a very good route that you can make up to 1350, almost $1,400 on a weekly basis.
This is the reason why we can take the map off. This is the reason why diversity on a podcast is so important because age is important. Josue, how old are you?
37.
Okay, I am older. Okay, we're not gonna say how much older, but I'm older. And so diversity with you being younger, age diversity is important. And you knew that this girl's name was not Gorilla.
Yeah. I mean, it comes out of my TikTok, and I guess it's because of her Memphis, but because she's from Memphis, so I knew where you were going with it, so it kind of helped out. But yeah, I get it. I know what you're saying, but I think it's Glow, Rilla.
Also, I just, I guess when I heard Rilla, I'm like, what else goes with Rilla and stuff? Um, and yes. So with saying that, that's enough embarrassment for the time. Oh no, we have
We have
one
one more.
more. It's a bonus one. So we're so excited. Let's go ahead and talk about that. It's a dedicated TJ Maxx. See, I can say that because I buy purses from there.
So yeah, it's a TJ Maxx dedicated account. It's out of El Paso, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so basically, this route you'll be hitting up the areas of Durango, Colorado. You'll hit up Farmington, New Mexico, Gallup, New Mexico, Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, Santa Fe, Clovis, Roswell, Las Cruces, New Mexico, and
Mm-hmm.
of course also El Paso, because we do have 5 stores here out of El Paso. So those will be the areas that the drivers are gonna be going to. The driver pay is 55 cents per mile for all regional runs. You do get $60 per local runs. If you're doing something here out of El Paso, out of TJ Maxx, you get $60 on top of that, plus $20 per extra stop after that. So there's always ways to go ahead and get a little bit more money here on the side.
And it's
But yeah, I
about
mean,
$1,300 a week.
exactly. Right now, these drivers are averaging 13 to 1350 on a weekly basis. TJ Maxx dedicated accounts. We do need people or drivers to apply because we need to fill out the position next week, and I think we need about 6 drivers, 6 to 7 drivers
Oh,
for
hi, man. Okay.
next week for the week of the 16th. Of course, we have orientation starting Monday, and we have the second set of orientation starting on Wednesday. So there's always, 2 dates for you to go ahead and start. But we need that amount of drivers, 6 to 7, for next week, the week of the 16th to start. I know it's a fast start, but we just need these positions filled. If you want to take advantage, if you live in El Paso, this is the route you should take. And call for sure.
And
Call
if you live
281
right
9.
outside of El Paso, because we're doing
Oh yeah.
75-mile radius.
Yeah, so it's like,
Okay.
oh, this cruises will taking place. So 75-mile radius from El Paso. So, just make sure you guys call 281-968-3100. And, Camille and her team will be ready to go ahead and work those applications and get you guys started for sure.
Yeah, this is a hot job for sure. TJ Maxx is building up for their Christmas rush and all of that. So we want to get you on this account. Like Josue said, I thought it was just five, so that's even better. That's even
Yeah.
better. See what happens when we get Josue on here
Yeah.
with his youngness. We like this young energy. We find out people's name is not other stuff. But anyway, but yeah, 281-968-3100, 281-968-3100, or you can go directly to the website at rigonwheels.com, and it's a tab that says driver application. You click on that, fill out the application, and they'll either call you today or tomorrow. Okay? But go ahead, fill it out. Now, MVT needs 6 months experience, need a clean or decent MVR background, all of that. Be transparent, be honest, be transparent, be honest, okay? They need professional drivers. If you are saying that you're going to start on a certain day, don't go and say that the moon fell out of the sky and you can't start, because that's not going to work. And then you're going to be denied, and then you won't be able to work for MVT for a year because you're taking the place of a driver where their moon did not fall out of the sky. Okay? So the point is, we need men and women that are professionals and know that this is what they want, and they're not shaking in the boots. Okay? So that is what we need. We need 6 or 7 drivers for next week. It's very important. Very important, because mama need a purse. I need my purse. I need my purse. It's very important. But we're very, very happy about that. Now, uh, MVT hires in other places. So just because you did not hear of a job today, it does not mean that something else is not open. We're just talking about hot jobs, stuff that's hot off the press. Also, Rig on Wheels does recruit for other companies. And we do take applicants that have no experience and ones that have 3 months experience. Okay. So if any of those fit you, go ahead and give us a call at 281-968-3100, 281-968-3100, or uh, go to rigonwheels.com. We want you to work for MVT, but more importantly, we want to get you the best opportunity for you and your family, because we don't want you to be hopping around. Because MVT might be in your future, it just may not be right at this very moment. So what we're going to do next after this break is the crew gathered a lot of questions over the last few weeks that came from social media, emails, different things that was given, that Raven, which is the recruiting manager, collected, that came from different drivers, as far as questions, and we gave them to Kayla. And of course, if any live questions come through as well, but we're going to do a question and answer period since we got Josue. We thought this would be good since Pearson is off saving the world. He's a hero, superhero, right?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead, go to commercial, and when we come back, we can do our question and answer segment. That was fast. Kelly was like, we're not doing no long commercial. We got to get to these questions. She like having us on the hot seat. So let's hit it. What you doing first, Kayla? Who you hitting first?
All right. The first question is, what kinds of jobs can you help me find if I only have 6 months of CDL experience?
Are you talking to Camille or Josue?
Josue.
So yeah, here at Mesilla Valley Transportation, minimum experience would be that we accept is 6 months within the last 12 months that are verifiable. As long as you have the bare minimum 6 months within the last 12 months, we'll be more than happy to go ahead and bring you on board, depending on where you live. There's different kind of opportunities. If you live in Houston, you have your opportunities there. If you live in Dallas, Portland, Oregon, as long as you just have 6 months of tractor trailer experience within the last 12 months, we could definitely help you out. Even if you don't have any experience, you just have your CDL. Talk to Camille. We have a training program here. We'll put you somewhere that you could get the experience if you need to. But 6 months within the last 12 months, we'll definitely go ahead and get you a job here, and definitely give you your options.
And I kind of want to piggyback off of that as well, with the fact that Rig on Wheels does recruit for 40 plus companies. We do have recent grad opportunities or people with no experience opportunities. We have opportunities for ones that have as little as 3 months, and then companies like MVT, of course, that 6 months experience.
Awesome.
Mhm.
This next one is for Camille. How is the driver shortage affecting opportunities and pay for truck drivers?
Well, the driver shortage thing, there definitely is a driver shortage. There's a lot of reasons for the driver shortage, but it's always been a driver shortage. And as years go on and seasons go on, there are different reasons for the driver shortage. But the opportunities are definitely there. What I always tell people to do is become bulletproof. And what that means is become marketable. Make sure that you are fully loaded. So I like drivers to have all of their endorsements, including their TWIC card. Because even if you have a company that is only driving, you never know when they have an opportunity that comes up, when they have a run that might be something else. And you are the one that they can count on for that, or something with a toy car. Or let's say that you need to relocate. Life happens. And when you don't have everything that you need as a professional driver, it decreases what you can do. You have it, even if you don't need it. So I have drivers that tell me, but every so often I have to pay extra. You have a professional license. There are things that I have to pay for as well that I've never used, but you have it for when and if you do need it. There are things that just this year in 2024 I've used that I haven't used, and I've had it for years. But because I have it, I was able to network and partner with someone. Those type of things are very important. Very important. So,
Good answer to a good question.
yeah.
Next question I have is actually for Josue.
Mhm.
What's the biggest mistake drivers make during the recruitment process, and how can I avoid that?
The biggest mistake that drivers make, it's what always Camille preaches, is just being transparent. You thinking that you have a charge in 2018 for a criminal background charge, for whatever the case might be, you might think as a driver think that's a dead end. But if you're just transparent with me, there's ways that I could help you out, as far as showing commitment as well. If I talk to you today, the 16th, Monday comes up, that sounds good for you, but you sleep on it, next night something happens, just be transparent. Just let us know, what, I cannot make orientation that Monday. Then I could help you out. So I just feel like transparency as far as what you're looking for in a position, your commitment, and what goes with your employment and your background. Don't, like I like to tell the drivers, don't think negative just because you got terminated from your most recent employer. Like, tell me why, because if you just put terminated, it looks bad. But if you tell me, what, because of insurance policy, I had to be terminated because their insurance doesn't let a 65-year-old driver, drive no more. They got a new set of insurance. So it's basically not the driver's fault at this point. So just be transparent, let us know. And then what we could do is work your application, talk to our higher ups, and make sure that we, get you in and we get you processed, but being transparent with everything. It makes a job easier on both sides, not just as a recruiter, but also on the driver as well.
And I would like to piggyback off of that as well. We had a driver here recently in the last several months. He had a criminal background. He would have been able to be successfully working at that company. But because he wasn't upfront about the criminal background, he was sent home during orientation because he lied on his application, not because of the criminal background, but because of the lie on the application. So that is the reason why transparency and honesty is so important right there. And that also is the reason why dealing with a third party is so important, because sometimes it's not that a driver is trying to tell a lie, they may not understand something, and the third party recruiter can actually explain it to them because we should be trained in those aspects. Um, but yeah, the driver was sent home because he lied, not because of his background, but because he's a liar. So,
All right. The next question I have is also for Josue. What options do I have at MVT if I want to transition from OTR to local or regional routes?
Here, the good thing about Mesilla Valley Transportation and what I like to tell my drivers is just because you sign up for a position doesn't mean that you have to do that position for your longevity, employment here with Mesilla Valley Transportation. I have drivers that start with OTR, 2 months later, if positions open up, opportunities open up, we call these drivers, we let them know, hey, there's a new opportunity popped up. It might be less money, it might be more money, it might be less home time, more home time. We like to address what the driver's currently doing at the moment to the new opportunity and always switch them. And it's nothing that it's like a big or difficult thing to do. It's just a quick email if the driver agrees to moving from OTR to regional, regional to local. It's just basically an email away saying that you're rescinding your current offer of OTR and going to local. Um, and if you're an OTR or if you're on OTR or regional and you go straight to local, if you want to go to local, you even do like a 1 day class here with our orientation people. And it kind of just gives you the scoop and the inside scoop of the local and how it's a little bit more different than being out there in the road. You have a 1 day training with them, transitioning from OTR regional to local. But yeah, you could always move around here for sure.
that's awesome.
All right. This one is for Miss Camille. What advice do you have for drivers who are just starting out in the industry?
Well, one of them is what I said already was to make sure you get your endorsements in your Twit card. I definitely think it's important to be fully loaded, be marketable, and have all of that under your belt. Also, get yourself a mentor. Get somebody that has been in the industry for a while, not somebody bitter, okay? That probably should be out of the industry, but definitely get your old school cat. Get somebody that's been in the industry for a while, know themselves around a truck and is familiar. Definitely know that the battery is not in the front of the truck. You want somebody that can walk you through things, somebody that's been through the ups and the downs of it. You don't want somebody that is telling you to go lease purchase right away, to go independent right away. I don't suggest things like that for several years. Um, I, I I want you to get somebody that really can mentor you. Also, I also suggest networking, but staying away from networks that are messy, because there are so many networks, but then you get in ones that are the messy ones and Debbie Downers. I'm not saying deal with things that are in rose colored glasses, but definitely this is a great industry. It has its challenges, just like, anything. But my biggest takeaways or my biggest advice is getting yourself a network and get yourself mentors in this industry.
Awesome. This next question I have is for Josue. Can you help me find local driving jobs that will allow me to be home every night?
Oh yeah, for sure. Here at Mesilla Valley, what we do when it comes to local positions, they're a little bit different than our OTR and regional. Local positions open up just depending on the need of the area. There's sometimes that we have no local positions. Next morning we have one out of El Paso, which is a night shift, one out of Albuquerque, which is a Wednesday through Saturday gig. So just depending on the need of the location, specific area, opportunities present themselves. But just a little bit about how our local positions work. We either have two type of schedules here. We have a 4 days on, 4 days off schedule. So you work 4 days, you're off for 4 days. They're 12-hour shifts. It might be the morning shift, it might be the night shift. Or we have more like a standard schedule, like a Monday through Friday schedule with, one Saturday alternating in a month. So I just encourage, drivers to, give us a call. That way they could know what's available if a local position opened up. But yeah, I mean, there's always, from Dallas to Denver to Houston, San Antonio, El Paso, basically every city out there, we have a local position that they
Ohio.
just, Ohio. So they just open and close just depending on the need. But yeah, we definitely have opportunity for locals for everyone out there.
Awesome. The next question I have is for you as well, Josue. I've had bad experiences with recruiters just being misleading. How can I trust the process?
That's a good question, and that's I mean, I guess depending on the person, just how I want drivers to be transparent with me. I like to be transparent with my drivers as well. I like to tell them how it is. Like I like to tell them this is what we do. This is on this day, this is what we're going over with. On this day, this is what we're gonna do. If something happens, a speed bump, I like to tell my drivers, hey, this is what's going on. Buy me 2 hours, let me just fix it. Whatever the case might be, is I like to be myself, transparent with these drivers as well. One of those things I kind of like to do with my drivers is go over what we call an offer letter, which is basically just a recap of the position. I know we talk about the position during the recruiting process, but already in the final stages on a Thursday, Friday before orientation, I like to tell them open your email, open that offer letter. I have it open my PC and I like to go line by line. That way he does not like, what do you mean 60 cents? Oh, yes, sir. That's what we talked about in the first place. It's there. It's there. We're both okay. Next line. Hey, do you remember I told you you're going to be doing, for example, Texas only? That's what you're doing. You see Texas only? Yes, sir. Because I know that sometimes if some recruiters just say what they want and drivers don't even look at the date document themselves, they just sign. It's a lot of miscommunication everywhere. But no, I like to just tell my drivers like, no, no, let's recap again. Let's make sure you know what you're getting yourself into and I know what you're getting yourself into. That way we're both on the same page. That way there's no ifs or buts. And when he arrives to orientation, he's not like, I don't know what route I'm doing. I don't know my recruiter's name. I don't know what I'm doing here. I want my drivers to sit there, know exactly what they're doing, what position they're doing, what they're getting paid at, come in, do orientation, leave in the truck and start making money.
Yeah, that's good. I
Awesome.
like that.
Thank you. Camille, this one is for you. What trends are you seeing in the trucking industry that drivers should be aware of right now?
I think I've been saying this for a while. It's the new sheriff in town. The shippers are demanding better service from the carriers. I mean, the carriers have to demand that the drivers are better, which means professional drivers. So there's no time now where carriers are wanting just drivers anymore. It's going back old school. These carriers are wanting and needing professional drivers. So, like earlier when I was saying that MVT needs 6 drivers for next week, but don't say that you're starting next week and then come back and the moon or sun fell out the sky and you can't do this and you can't do that because you've taken an opportunity from somebody else, and it means you're not dependable. And if you're not dependable now, or you didn't show up on time for orientation, which means you're not going to show up on time at the shipper, and it's just a domino effect. That's what I mean. So that is what the new trend is. Okay, the new trend is what the old trend was. And somehow we got away from that. It's a lot of reasons why. But at the end of the day, now we have gone back to the time where the driver has to be professional. And that is just what it is. Now, with saying that, the carriers are needing to be professional as well. Okay, that means the carriers are needing to hold the dispatchers, the fleet managers, the recruiters. Everybody needs to be professional. Everybody needs to be trained. The carriers need to be dealing with third parties that are professional, that can regurgitate what they're being told, that can think outside the box. If they can't, the contract needs to be cut off immediately. You know, all of it needs to be done. So, but to go back to it, the trend is that shippers are no longer looking for excuses. And a lot of them feel that 98% on time rate is not good enough. And everybody knows 98% is an A.
Yep.
98% is not good enough. So with saying that, carriers are literally dissecting the drivers. If 98% is not good enough, and you're a driver that says, oh no, I'll be there Monday, and then come to find out you're not there, they don't want to reschedule you, because guess what? You're going to be the issue that's going to give them 98% or 97%. So that's the trend. The new trend is what the old trend used to be.
Thank you, Camille. That's all that I have for today.
Okay, awesome. So, and that actually brings us to the bottom of the hour and the top of the hour. I like saying that. The bottom and the top. Because I really don't know what the saying is, but the truth of the matter is we are at the bottom of the hour and at the top of the hour. So I just want everybody to be safe out there. We are having some climate change weather. I don't know who said climate change was not right, but I need my relocation money back to Houston because it is cold. Yesterday we had decent temperatures, but today we having Chicago weather today, okay? And I don't have no Chicago clothes. I don't have no long underwear or any of that yet. Cold out here in these streets. But I need everybody really to be safe. Thank you so much for all your questions and everything, because those were some really good questions.
They were.
Even though Josue got more questions than I did, but that's okay. That's okay. And I think we still got some more to go, so that'll be good. But always thank you, Josue, for filling in.
Yes, ma'am. Of course. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Tell Pearson you deserve a bonus.
I got you. I'll make sure I tell him.
Yeah. But everybody be safe. We love everybody, and see you guys later Tuesday, same time, 3 p.m. Central Standard. Bye-bye.